The Tekken world today is in flames. In a good way. It is abuzz with new footage and new information. What happened is a bunch of content creators got invited to the Bandai Namco offices where they got to record exclusive footage of the retail final copy, the production build of Tekken 8. Unfortunately, I was not invited. But with the footage being online, I thought I could give my analysis, my 2 cents, and talk about it not only as a competitor, but also as just a Tekken fan. Like, I think it's been so long since we've seen new Tekken stuff, right? So this is really exciting for me. First thing I want to look at is Victor. I want to look at his move list and talk about what I expect out of it. A lot of people know me as a Noctis player and expect me to pick up this character. I want to draw comparisons, kind of see or share what I'm looking for out of a character. And if you enjoy Noctis, whether or not you might enjoy Victor. We're going to go into the moves. As you can see, the person who recorded this video, Jacob D, I will be linking his channel below, recorded everything in Polish. So you'll see the move list and you'll see my glossary right here. Basically, I tried to pick out the words that would be useful to translate and make this as painless as possible. First things first, he puts up some spark notes of the changes. And there's a lot of like frame details here and things like that, but I think these things I'll try to go through quickly and then talk about in more general terms for a casual player what is relevant and what is useful. Okay, so according to the description of some sword moves, he recovers heat on hit. Cool. Heat 2+3 is his heat smash, kind of like a rage drive. 20 frame low, so pretty fast, probably not reactable, and a decent chunk of damage there. Down 1-1 is a low-high string, 16 frames, so very, very fast. Or pretty fast for a low poke that does like damage. +6 on hit is pretty good too. Down back 4, it says I20 to 21. What that means is it's a 20 frame low. But because it is like a sweep, there are some situations where your opponent might be tech rolling or waking up and they're invincible for the first hit. So what it is it's saying that this attack has multiple frames of active hitboxes. So if you tech roll, you might block the 21st frame instead of the 20th. That's all that is. It makes it a bit more reliable for moves to hit with like evasion and dodging and things like that. It's for like consistency. +4 on normal hit, combo and counter hit. Stances also have quick lows. Hop kick is 15 frames to 17 frames. So same thing here. It's a 15 frame hop kick, objectively. But in some sidestep situations, sidewall situations, scrambles, sometimes that lingering hitbox will hit instead. Up, back, back is a backflip-like teleport. Iai Stance has a manual duck and a manual low parry by stepping forward and a backstep. And Victor teleports a lot. Great. Not much to see. Let's go into the move list. So, Tekken 8 move lists are not like the normal move lists. They start with a lot of heat information. So here, it says you get like empowered heat state for number 1, and then number 2 is you get a heat dash when you land a heat engager and hold forward. Heat smash is that rage drive. That's what that looks like. Very, very cool animation. Okay, so this is, you can use Monsieur Samurai during heat. It's a special move, and he only has access to it during heat. Notice that he goes into stance after he hits this. So he hits the sword, and then he goes into Iai Stance. That's important. Caliburnus, and I don't know how to say that, I'm sorry, are empowered, I believe is what that says. Are strengthened. That's this move. And then this move. Both moves are stronger in heat, like bigger knockback, more damage, etc. This is saying, let me translate this. Some sword blows restore heat. Okay, so he gains meter back when he hits the sword. Okay, this is heat burst, how you manually go into heat. They're all pretty generic, like mids, a lot of frame advantage. Or not a lot, it's +2, okay. All right, and then now we start. Oh no, these are his heat engagers now. So forward 4-1, forward 1+2, and notice there is a difference here. So there are 2 animations when a heat engager hits, as far as I know. There's this animation where they are on their back and get up holding their head, and then there's another animation here where they tumble over. My understanding is the tumble means that it can wall splat, whereas the non-tumble means it doesn't give like a combo. And I think it affects how you can do heat dash combos as well. If somebody in the comments knows, by the way, you can help me clarify. So like this animation where they're still standing won't give a wall splat. So down 2 will not wall splat at the wall with the heat engage. Back 1+2, he's knocked onto his back. These are all heat engages, right? Flying Gentleman, out of stance, he knocked onto his back. And then this is Monsieur Samurai, heat exclusive move where he pulls the sword out. Excalibur, also a heat exclusive move. Longinus. Nice. I think he has versions of those moves, they're just not heat empowered. This is his heat smash. So there's repeats in the move list, it should be noted. And then this is his rage art. You've probably seen it in the trailer, but I'll let it play for the sake of letting it play. Nice to see, I guess, the damage values. At full health, it does 55 damage. Rage arts, of course, scaling with more damage the lower HP you have. Now, we're in the official move list. Here we go. First, 1-1-2. So the combo counter in this game is now true. What that means is if the combo counter stops, the move is not a real combo. So what that says here is all 4 hits of this string are natural. Once you hit the first hit, they all hit. And he gets a +3 frame advantage. Basic etiquette. 1-2 +8 on hit. 17 damage. 1-2-1. This is, so you can see the combo counter dropped, right? So we did the 3rd hit and there's no combo. This is a flip over, but I believe you can see the icon up here. This is his tornado move. So when you're doing like your beginner combos, this is probably how you're gonna do a lot of combo extensions. So 1-2-1, probably unsafe on block, but hard to say. 1-3, a high-low natural combo. That's cool. So if the jab hits, you can't block the 2nd hit, I believe, as far as I know. Nice little round ending cheese. You guys will want to practice labbing against that and low pairing it. Here's 2-1. This is a really, really good move. 2-1 goes into, first of all, by itself is +5 on hit down here. I know it's kind of small. Sorry about that. This is +5, and it can go into the Perfumer stance. It's also part of his 10-string combo. We'll talk about that too later. 2-2, and then on hit or block, the 3rd 2 transitions to his gun. Right? So that's what this this notation says. I'm not going to try to pronounce Polish, but 2-2 into 2 on hit goes into gun, and on gun he transitions to Iai Stance. That's what this red thing is saying here, and does chip damage on block. That's what the gun does. And he's in stance at +4. All right, 3-1 +2 natural combo you can see, and is +5 on block. 4-3-2, not a full combo, but a strong knockdown. I imagine this being like a wall combo ender. That's what I expect out of that. Eden, 1+2. This is a 15 frame, and I believe in the trailer this was a counter hit launcher. So 15 frame counter hit launching mid, probably not safe. Although if it's safe, that'll be nasty. Manual Iai Stance 3+4. We'll talk about that more later. 4-2-2-1-2. This might also be a wall combo thing, because it's not natural the whole way. But the first forward 2-2 here, sorry, the skip is so big, is a 13 frame high. So depending on counter hit properties, maybe it's a natural combo. Forward 2-2, again, 13 frames. And then he has a different extension. So it looks like he has the 1-1, which is mid-mid, and then he has forward 2-2-2, which is all highs. Perfumer, forward 3, another manual stance entry. You can cancel it with down forward after. Forward 3-1, or forward 4-1, this is a heat engager, we talked about this. Forward 4-2, this looks like a natural string, pretty nasty. If this is safe, that'll be really good. So that's obviously going to be duckable. Well, actually, that's not true. Tekken 8 has added a lot of jailing, which means even if it's a high, you might not be able to duck it. Okay, so this is a 14 frame mid into a middle again. If this is a safe string, that'll be really, really good. Long range kick poke. Durandal, forward 1+2 heat engager. Down forward 1-1. So his down forward 1 here is 13 frames. This is a nice little detail. Pausing here. Yep, 13 frame, down forward 1. And then the second hit is a high. Okay, so you probably can duck the second 2 hits. Down forward 2, Arcadia. So 15 frame, down forward 2. We don't know if it's safe or not. Judging by the range, this might be unsafe on block. I'm trying to really capture the range here. Right, so I'm trying to imagine a character being like another backdash or 2 backwards, and this is probably hitting him. Like, that's a decent, it's not huge range, but it's a decent amount of range. You know, he's using his knife. As a Noctis player, this isn't the down forward 2 I'm really looking for, but all I really want is a nice, cool, stylish whiff punish. So, not the end of the world. It's more like a Kunimitsu down forward 2. Iridescence of Loyalty. Down forward 3-4-2. Let's look at that again. This will probably be a combo extension. I know that shield burst attack does tornado. It has a tornado property, and you can see that here. And it does chip damage on block. So if they're airborne, this is probably how he extends his combo. All right, Selfish Miranda. This move is really cool. This is a big combo tool. We'll see it in the combo trials later. Down forward 4, he does a knee, 13 frame knee. First of all, 13 frame knee is nasty. A poke that can't be parried. Victor is not going to be very parryable, which is an insane asset in this game. And then he shoots his gun, and when the gun hits on block or on hit, so whether on hit or block, he goes into Iai Stance. Down forward 3+4. This is a shoulder. Same input as Jax. It looks like he uses the sword. He takes the sword off his hip and uses it to bash. That's pretty cool. Yeah, he takes it off his hip. That's neat. Concave cut. Down 1-1. This is going to be a key low for Victor for sure. This seems like a really nasty low. So down 1. We don't know how it tracks, like if it can be sidestepped. But it's a 16 frame low that ducks down. Very similar to Noctis' low down back 3. What's different about this low is it has that high extension that is natural. So if the low hits, he gets the high for free, and it's +6, so he gets a mix-up after, probably. The range he's left at is decent. We don't know. Maybe you can loop down 1-1s, and they can't do anything about it. That's going to be pretty nasty. But because it's high, it's probably going to be launch punishable if you duck the first hit. Pretty good move, and probably not parryable, or low parryable because it's a weapon. That seems really, really strong. Down 2, chip damage. 18 frame power mid. Don't know if it's safe or not. I doubt it would be safe. That'd be really, really good. Here is a small low poke in down 3. Good manners. -2 on hit. So not super strong. Only 11 damage, but probably has safer properties than the down 1-1 on block. Down 4. Fine salute. This is 2 frames faster. 16 frames fast. -3 on hit. And he's still standing. So his only ducking low we've seen so far is that dagger. But this move has the counter hit property we saw in the trailer, that if you counter hit that 16 frame low, he gets 30 damage, this little attack throw, and then a wake up situation. Pretty nice. Down 1+2. This is the shield burst. This does an instant tornado, so at the wall, you'll probably see this move used a lot to extend a combo. 21 damage, probably not safe. Special mid, so it can be ducked to block. Interesting. Down back 1-1. This is the key move we saw in the trailer as well. It's similar to a Noctis move. This might be the most Noctis-like move we've seen. It's like almost directly the same. He does a downward slash with a dagger. 14 frames. Noctis is 15, so that's a really fast poke. Second hit comes up for 18 damage, and then he can hold forward to go into Perfumer Stance. That will lead to mix-ups and combos, and he's +2. I don't know his transition frames. That is often different than if you don't go into Stance. Down back 3. He ducks down. Little evasion here, probably going underneath highs. And does a 19 frame mid. Sorry, 19 frame high. So he ducks under highs and kicks high. Looks like it's a wall break and a tornado. So this might also be a strong combo tool we see instead of that shield bubble. Welcome sweep. This move looks really, really good. So he has another ducking low, a high crush, we like to call it. What that means is he will go under highs and maybe even some mids if the mids aren't very good. 20 frames. So this looks like a lot like Lars's low, right? But Lars's is much slower. This is probably because of the counter hit launch closer to Leo's down forward 2+3. And it's so fast. I'm curious to see if it's launch on block. Like if it staggers Victor if you block it, because lows of this type tend to be launch punishable. And on counter hit, he gets this really cool animation. And what's interesting is you get 3 hits and 24 damage, right? So they're going to be airborne. You're probably after this state. You don't get like a standing hit for better damage, but really, really cool animation. Okay, this back 1-2 looks like a 14 frame mid, and it's a natural combo. So it just creates an attack throw. It's like a forced animation. Pretty cool. And then he can cancel the back 1 and go into Perfumer Stance. Sick. Back 2, strobing memories. This is a parry. Oh, he has a parry. And it looks like a god parry, right? Noctis can't parry elbows or knees or like headbutts and things like that. But Victor might be able to. We don't know yet. Back 3-1. Nice little 2-hit string natural. The first hit is 17 frames. So pretty slow. Probably a decent whiff punish to wall splat. It breaks the wall. Pretty nice. Back 4. This is an interesting move. It's a little weird. It looks really stubby. Like, it doesn't have a lot of range. It's a high. It's 18 frames slow. And it just gives +13, like it doesn't knock them down or anything. So I'm not sure what the use of this move is going to be. It looks like it breaks the walls, so it'll wall splat. but I don't know if this is going to be a good move. We'll see. Back 1+2. This is a 15 frame heat engager. Noctis is one of Noctis's favorite moves I have is up forward 1. It's like a Steve back 1 with a knife. 13 frames fast. This one is 15 frames. But it also has armor. So not exactly the same, but may function similarly. He has a backswing blow here in back 1+4. It was a little teleport back. That's cool. It's not a full teleport, though. He's still visible. And he stabs you with the blunt end of the scabbard. Up 1+2. Okay, so up 1+2 outside of heat is called Caliburnus. He does chip damage on block. That's what the red subtitle means. And then Excalibur is the heat version, which does a super knockback, probably breaks wall. It breaks walls, probably wall splats too. I don't know the exact mechanics there. Up forward 1-1. Okay, so this is has a lot of detail, but it's a pretty simple move. So up forward 1, 13 frame mid. Wow. So he has a mid 13 frame with up forward 1, and he has his punch. But if he's using the sword, he probably can't get parried here. That's really nasty. It's saying you could do it with up back, or up 1, or up forward 1-1. If you press down or 3+4 after, he goes into Iai Stance, canceling the second hit. I'm not going to try to say that, but that's what that means. If you hit the input, he doesn't do the second hit, he goes into stance instead. So he'll spin and just cancel and be in stance. I'm imagining this move is unsafe. If this poke, mid poke is like safe on block, it'll be ridiculously strong. Up forward 2. This is a 19 frame mid, probably a counter hit launcher, and it's homing. I didn't see that it was homing in my first watch. This is like Noctis's forward 1+2. But because he can do it out of standing, it'll come out a little bit faster and a little less telegraphed than a dash input move. Not to say that it was like, you know, reactable or anything like that, but dash inputs and no dash inputs actually make a big difference in a lot of interactions. Peaceful Shoes. This can be done with up forward 3, up back 3, or up 3. 18 frames plus 3, probably a counter hit knockdown or launch. It's a pretty underwhelming move on hit, so I'm imagining it has a counter hit property. This is his hop knee, and it comes out in 15 frames, a big buff because Noctis's comes out in 17 frames. And it has this forced follow-up on hit, or maybe on block as well, that does 28 damage. Decent, and it instantly uses your tornado, so your combo will be a mini combo. Something I find interesting is that a lot of Victor's hits are one hit, but do multiple hits. I kind of like, as a player, doing multiple inputs when I'm doing multiple attacks out of a string. Little nitpick, let's keep going. Forward 2. Now this is an exciting move for me. This reminds me of Noctis's down forward 2. So he evades high, dashes forward, and does a big launcher with his reverse grip dagger. This looks like a whiff punish to me. It is a tornado move as well, and a normal hit launcher. So my guess is this is his stand-in for Noctis's down forward 2. It is 18 frames instead of 15, so a bit of a nerf if you're considering that they are the same character. But nonetheless, pretty interesting. For running 2, this is a move Noctis does not have, although he has the big overhead sword. This one is more, this is a big running mid. It kind of reminds me of Kazumi. 16 frames, probably safe. If it's plus on block, that'll be nasty. Quarter circle forward 2 is how he shoots his gun manually. Comes out in 22 frames, goes into Iai Stance on hit or on block. I believe it forces you into stance. And then does chip damage. Back 2+3 is his unblockable. Looks a lot like Monsieur Samurai. And then here's his 10 string. This is really, really good, you guys. This move is really good. First of all, we talked about Victor's 2-1, right? 2-1 is +5, and he can go into stance. But because of this threat of the low as well, your opponent will either be inclined to fuzzy duck, right? To low parry the low, or do nothing, right? Like you either fuzzy parry the low or expect them to do nothing and challenge. What makes this move so obnoxious is that if they don't know about the low, you can just chip them with the low, right? Once they know about the low, you do 2-1, and now they're just standing there. You have mental frame advantage because they're expecting a follow-up. Even worse, if they decide to fuzzy that low parry, now they're expending their free action, right? Even though you don't have frame advantage necessarily, they're taking an action that costs them time. So you effectively have this 2-hit plus frame high because of the mental frames of this extension and the stance. Because he even has a stance, now this mental frame advantage can turn into a mix-up for Victor. The closest analogy that Noctis has to this is 2-2. That was not a 12 frame high poke, but a 15 frame mid sword poke. So not the same thing, but you may see similar mind games. This is actually very reminiscent of Kunimitsu, who would hit 2-2 and had a high extension, so you might fuzzy duck, right, to survive, to like get a better punish. But if you respect the extension, she can go into stance and mix you up. She can also go into back turn. She can go into her oh my god, I forgot the name of the stance, but you know what I mean. She has 2 stances to go in, and Victor can go into Perfumer stance or feasibly manually go into Iai Stance or poke into Iai. A lot of options here. So this is a really, really good 10 string. It's rare for characters to have a useful 10 hit combo. So nice to see that Victor will have some nonsense here. He has a taunt. Saw that in the trailer. That's cool. Key charge looks pretty sick. They're giving a lot of characters unique key charges, which I kind of like. Not the same generic Tekken one where they all charge up the same way. LeBlanc is his backflip. While standing 1, 15 frame launcher. This is probably going to be launch punishable if you block it. Baguette cut. That seems a little stereotypical to call it baguette cut. This move seems kind of underwhelming on hit. So I'm guessing it's a counter hit launcher. And since he thematically trained the Ravens, Raven has the 13 frame launcher, right? With the elbow. So feasibly, this could be a counter hit launcher, which is insane. While standing 3-2, the first hit, we're going to repeat baguette cut first, and then the first hit of this while standing 3 is 15 frames. So he gets a 15 frame launcher as well that does this tornado effect. So maybe this is more effective at the wall, like it'll wall splat, and then you get more damage than if you just did the regular one. I'm not sure. Praise smash. While standing 4, 11 frame. Nice. He's an 11 frame while standing move. It doesn't spark, so it doesn't do that much damage. But from how I'm seeing Victor function, he might not need it. While standing 1+2. Also, this is interesting. I've never played a character that has a while standing 1+2 like this. But 13 frames on the first hit. So it's a 13 frame while standing punish, and he can go into Perfumer afterwards. I believe, yeah. It's saying during crouch, you can hold forward and go into Perfumer. 27 damage. Decent. +8. That's nasty. That's a lot of frames. And then full crouch 1+2 Shangri-La is a 16 frame low high. That doesn't look like a low high. That looks like a low mid. Yeah, but it's a low high, so that's crucial information. And it's 0 on hit, so you're in a neutral state standing right in each other's faces. During sidestep 1+2, 18 frames +15. Well, it doesn't really matter because he's knocked down. That does a huge knockdown. That means he must have wall game. Right? If he's at the wall, this reminds me of Claudio. He will duck in your face or sidestep in your face, and you have to guess low or mid, and the mid is catastrophic to get hit by. Interestingly, it would be interesting to know if this is a safe mid or not. Manual Iai Stance. Okay, so here we're going to go into Iai. I'm going to switch this over here to my Iai Stance notes. Take a look. Okay. Iai Stance. 1-1. So we've seen this. This looks like his up forward 1-1 kind of, but he can go back into stance afterwards. He can cancel the second hit and go back into stance. 1-2-2. All natural. That's all a combo. And that one is 13 frames. So you'll recall that some of Victor's stances go into Iai with, or some of Victor's moves go into Iai at +4. That's crucial because if this is a 13 frame mid, it's uninterruptible. You have to parry or rage art or power crush. All right, Iai Stance 2, 16 frames. This is used often in combos. Huge, just classical Iai Jutsu cut. I love this. Sequence. Iai 3, and then he does this automatic follow-up, 2-hit string. Again, I wish you had to hit both buttons, but that'd be kind of broken if you could like just do the first hit and just kind of like cheese people with like just the first hit while they're thinking of the second hit over and over. So I get why it's like a forced input. 17 frames, and he gets armor. So definitely unsafe on block. All right, he has a low out of the stance. 18 frames, a little stomp. Iai 4-2, knock down. And look at this situation with when the stomp hits. I wonder if this animation comes out like they're holding their foot. I wonder if it does that if you only do the first hit. Sometimes the animation changes if you confirm the second hit or not, or like input the second hit, not confirm. So I don't know if this is just going to be a nasty poke low you can do, like you don't have to do the extension. But 41 damage low is nasty. Then he has a jumping mid. Notice that this will jump, or it's a high. Sorry, he has a jumping high, and he will jump over lows most likely, right? So he can counter people attacking his stance by jumping over and wall splatting, presumably. Big down 2. This is a power low. And it's telling me the frames of the extra multi-hits after, so let me back up one more time. First hit is 23 frames, so probably a seeable low. It will depend on what other moves he has. But, looks annoying, to be honest. And then he has the heat version, which does 45 damage. Probably wall splats. 20 damage low. This one, probably unseeable. That is super nasty. Oh my goodness. And these are apparently, I was talking to a friend, these are all Soul Calibur moves from Patroclus, from Soul Calibur 5, Grow from Soul Calibur 6. Alright, and then here, he has 2 key moves, or less useful maybe. He has the Bow, which is like a quick duck. But he has this parry. We saw this in the trailer. He taps forward and parries, so why would you duck under something? Unless you can't parry weapons, perhaps. And then he has a move backward. Alright, and then his other stance, Perfumer. Done with forward 3, can cancel into a crouch dash with down forward. And then let's go into his options. Perfumer 1 is a 19 frame low where he really low profiles. So he's getting way down there. This is the only low the stance has. But it does kind of look like the crouch dash. So I bet if you crouch dash cancel, they'll probably duck and then you get like a free mix up while they're wasting their time, you know, ducking a move that didn't come out. It's a low with a dagger, so probably not low parryable, and it's +4 on hit. Nasty. Alright, Perfumer 2-2-1. Not a full natural combo, but 12 frame high is pretty fast. 2-2-1 +2 looks like a mid mix-up, so the 2-2-1 is a high, probably safe. 2-2-1 +2, catching him ducking, trying to get around the high. Tekken 8 and late Tekken 7 have a lot of these string-based mix-ups. Not a super common thing in the series, but definitely becoming more normalized. So this is probably like the new way they want you to play Tekken. Perfumer 3 is a 15 frame knee flying gentleman. That looks really nasty. I don't know what the tracking is like on this. Like maybe after certain moves you can't step this, so you have to just block it. I don't know if it's going to be unsafe or not. Pretty cool move. And then here's that move again. Cordial Circuit. This is like his back 4 standing. 18 frame high. A lot of advantage on hit, but a strangely slow move. Alright, and there's Perfumer 1 +2. This is an important one because it's a 25 frame mid, right? So his low is 19 frames. This mid is not really a mix-up. You can fuzzy the low. Depends if you can delay the stance as well. If you can delay the attacks, that'll make it, you know, harder to defend. But so far, it's looking like the mid is either really fast or really slow. So you may be able to find a timing where you can put a quick fuzzy duck in and then let go and block. Siege, that's when you crouch cancel dash. Crouch dash cancel, good lord, out of Perfumer. Probably for combos and just for getting out of the stance. Now here are his throws. 1 throw, broken with 1 or 2. This is his 2 throw, and he changes sides. That's very, very useful when your back is to the wall. One Night Miracle. Oh my god, that's cool. Damn. Side throws, as you can see, are broken with the side, with the button of the side, opposite of the side you were grabbed on. So, oh, sorry, same side. So you can see that they're grabbing the bot's left arm here. So you break with 1. Likewise, he's grabbing the bot from the right side, so you would break with 2. Farewell and Taj Mahal. Back throw. Unbreakable. Oh my goodness. Romancing shit. Okay, so he has a 1 +2 throw. We saw this in the trailer. This is nice. Low parry. Gwen. This is the Iai Stance parry. Tapping forward. Alright, and now we can take a look at his sample combos. Looks like it parried a low there. Crazy. I wonder if it's only a low parry. Down forward 2. Heat. Okay, so that's a basic combo. Down forward 2, heat burst, and then the heat smash. I'll go through just each combo twice, and then you guys can replay it if you need to. Very, very cool heat smash. 40 damage. Down forward 2. Up forward 1-1. Instant tailspin. Okay. And then back 3-1. Nice little easy combo. Down forward 2, 2-2-2. Iai Stance. 2. Oh my goodness. His combos are so cool, man. Let me play that back. So he goes down forward 2. 2-2-2. The third 2. So 2-2 does 3 hits. Third 2 shoots the gun here. And they get this slow spin, right? This gives you time to extend your combo. Iai Stance 2 is the big tornado. And then 4-3-2 combo ender, like we thought. 50 damage. Up forward 4, hop kick, force tornado, and then just the ender, 48 damage. Okay, hop kick again. Down forward 4-2. Stance transition. Oh, 1-2-2 is the combo ender out of Iai. Cool. Counter hit down back 4. Shooting animation while standing 2. 2-2-2. Iai 2. Back 3-1. This guy... So people were complaining on Twitter that he doesn't do a lot of combo damage. But I think that's okay because it seems like the advantages he gets on hit and on block and like his mix-up game is kind of nasty. So in that sense, I'm not getting a lot of Noctis vibes from what I anticipate to be his gameplay. Noctis was a very counter hit heavy, whiff punish heavy character. But based on the pokes Victor has and the frame advantage he gets, Victor is feeling like more of a Kunimitsu Raven, right? Put out your hitboxes. You have really like maybe not super high reward mix-ups, but he gets a lot of advantage that leads into a favorable situation for him again. I'll just run back to sample combos where I talk about my thoughts. And in that sense, it is kind of like Noctis, where Noctis was a poking character with a big reward on counter hit and whiff punish. Victor is not getting insane combo damage, but depending if his down forward 2 is safe, if his movement is good, it's going to look like he is an oppressive poker that can occasionally cash out. That's the sense I'm getting so far, right? His pokes are very, very good. Hard to parry because he uses weapons, and even when he's not using weapons, he has like a 13 frame mid-knee, right? He has a lot of stance to play mix-ups, but the outside of a couple of the lows, it feels like Victor isn't necessarily going to use his stance for mix-ups that much. He might be more of a combo stance user. At least that's the sense I get out of the Iai stance because of the differences in the frames, right? So like his low is actually, no, I'm sorry, I've said it backwards. The Perfumer stance has that low poke, but I imagine against good defensive training, it might be doable to handle. I'm not sure yet. I might be jumping to conclusions. This is what I mean by we really don't know much about the game, right? But if you look at his Iai stance here, the main low is 18 frames. He has a 17 frame mid in Iai 3, which is a little scary. But that it's a second hit and it's unsafe. It has a second hit and it's unsafe. So the real Iai low that's scary is probably this sweeping sword one, the down 1+2. And these lows are slower than the fastest mid, the safe mid. I'm guessing Iai 2 is going to be unsafe, and I'm guessing Iai 3 is unsafe because it's a 2-hit string. So it's going to be weird because he's going to be in a stance where he can parry, but the defensive options might be favorable. It's so hard to say. As for Perfumer stance, it feels like Kunimitsu, where he's going to be poking you, going into stance, threatening a low now and then, but you will really take a lot of punishment if you try and duck and eat that heat engager, the mid. So, is Victor really the next Noctis? I think he has that anime aesthetic with his weapon and his guns and his daggers and the sword, but the gameplay is so hard to tell, right? If he has really good movement and he can play counter hits and whiff punish, then yes. But his whiff punish is a bit slower at 18 frames. It's a different input. His counter hit launching mid, the homing one, is 19 frames. So they've slowed down what Noctis really enjoyed using, which isn't necessarily that big of a problem, but it definitely doesn't seem to encourage that style of gameplay. Regardless, I think I'll be learning Victor in a lot of detail just because I like how he looks aesthetically. But yeah, it's so hard to say. We don't even know how Tekken 8 will play, like, honestly, right? Like, we've seen the exhibition, we've seen, like, you know, the closed network test and the closed beta, the 2 demos. But truly, we'll have to get in the field and play this character to really understand what's going on. So hopefully you enjoyed this kind of content. Please leave a like if you did. If you made it all the way to the end, let me know in the comments. If you think I missed something, you know, a comment is also great there too. Subscribe for more. I'm going to go through each character and give my thoughts. This one's a bit longer just because I think Victor is very interesting personally for me. But I hope to explore all the characters. I hope to get a chance to come out to Namco and do something like this at some point. That would be really, really cool. That's all for me for today. Hope you enjoyed. I will catch you in the next one. Peace.